I was a coach with Judy. We really worked with others as a team on this. I think the high school was a 5-year major change effort. What's important to see in the first year was the issue of sensing something was really wrong. But how do you make sense of what the problem was? How do you frame what was wrong? And Judy struggled looking at data, talking with teachers, watching kids walk across the quad, seeing kids in classrooms who were very bored. Often we think of urban schools as being places of severe violence. Well, urban schools really are places of unbelievable boredom. And you saw that at the school. I can't remember walking down a hallway in other school and seeing quite as much just passive tuning out, which led to some aggressive behavior in some ways. But so the problem in the first year was, what's the problem here, and what should we try to do in general? And I would say we ended up saying we've got to have an academic focus that helps all kids learn. The first year we also tried to explore a notion of getting kids more engaged, and that led us to thinking about the house program, which became the major reform of the second year, the 9th grade house. Why pick only 9th grade? What is it we were trying to do in the house? It's really important. Now, how did Judy get to have some of these ideas? She'd worked in urban schools as well as very high accomplishing suburban schools. She brought a kind of reflective perspective herself. But she also had an important set of friends. We all have friends and colleagues, but what I noticed about Judy's was they were nationwide, they were prominent, strong people, important people themselves, and she talked with them not just, oh, woe is me, look at the job I have, but rather, I can't make sense of something. It was a struggle with them, articulating out loud, something's wrong here. Come and visit. They did come and see. Look at the data. I'm thinking of it sort of this way. And it took her 2 or 3 months of chewing on this to come to see, oh my goodness, the problem is the serious academic performance for all kids. Now, she came in with that commitment, but it wasn't like that commitment led day one to know kind of what to do. Incredibly, she couldn't have acted on it day one in an organization and not ripped the place apart.
What Judy did to give the faculty a sense of urgency was very simple. She put the data on the overhead in black and white and said, this is what your students are doing. This is what they're not doing. Looking at the grades, for example, end of course results. I think the most telling results were the attendance results. The attendance rates during the day, what we called the ADA, the average daily attendance, as well as the actual dropout rate of kids literally disappearing into the woodwork. And she would say, you know, 600 youngsters start in September of their freshman year, and when they leave us in June, 4 years later, only 30 or 40% of them are still with us, whatever that, you know, it was a very high percentage. So it wasn't about, I think this, or this is my opinion. It was about, these are the facts. And these facts have to be the underpinning for doing things differently around here.